If either team wins out the remainder of its games in the division, they'll win the division title outright. Now, St. Joe's has a lot of
From J. Doyle Field in East Brunswick, we welcome you to one of the fiercest rivalries in New Jersey high school soccer as the East Brunswick Bears take on the St. Joe's Falcons. I'm Phil Peterson alongside Gordy Deal, here to bring you today's action on Channel 8. Gordy, over the years, the Falcons and Bears have had many memorable matches. Should we expect anything less today?
Definitely not, Phil. I'll tell you why. Both teams come in with terrific records. St. Joe's at 8-2-1, East Brunswick at 8-3-1. St. Joe's owns a 2-1 win over East Brunswick already. Both teams need to win the remainder of their games in the red division of the Greater Middlesex Conference in order to win the division title. So this is a critical game for both teams. Things to watch for today, in the middle of the park especially, for East Brunswick, number 15, Keith Sultana, very dangerous in the midfield. And coming up from the stopper spot is Brett Hockenjoss, who we've seen a number of times before come forward and be dangerous. They will have to keep an eye on two of St. Joe's guys in the middle of the park also. Number 13, Paul Medeiros, who's very dangerous, and number 10, Giacomo Berlingeri, who can punch the ball in the back of the net as he has this season. So winning the battle of the midfield will definitely be crucial to this game, and each team needs a victory.
Well, the faces may change, but there is no love lost between these two teams, so sit back and relax. We'll be back for the start of today's match momentarily.
Well, Phil, you mentioned it at the top of the broadcast, one of the fiercest rivalries in high school athletics, certainly in this area. St. Joe's against East Brunswick, a critical game for each team. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First for visiting St. Joe's, which comes in with a mark at 8-2-1. In goal will be number 1, Mike Fedorchik. The sweeper will be number 11, Chris Leahy. At stopper, number 8, Ryan Garibaldi. The marking backs, number 17, Gerard Wrights, and number 12, Matthew Larkin. Across the midfield, left outside midfielder will be number 14, Travis Torme. Number 10, Giacomo Berlingeri. At one of the center midfield spots, the other center midfield will be number 13, Paul Medeiros. Number 5, Charlie Bobel is at the right outside midfield spot. And up top for St. Joe's, number 6, Lee Rabimbus. And number 3, Ilio DiFrancesco. For East Brunswick, which comes in with a mark of 8-3-1, currently on a 5-game winning streak with 4 out of those 5 being shutouts. Much of that credit goes to the man who starts in goal, number 1, Ted Papadopoulos. In front of him at sweeper, number 5, Dan Miller. The stopper is number 45, Brett Hockenjoss. And the outside backs are number 10, Ross Channon, and number 40, Brian Patterson. Across the midfield, they're anchored there by number 15, Keith Sultana. Outside midfielder, number 3, Eric Feichbaum, and number 14, Yaron Shlomi. Withdrawn forward, number 34, Monbaj Gill. And striking for the Bears, number 9, Ari Schneider. And number 17, Chris Parker. And right now, Schneider on a bit of a tear himself.
Yeah, last 2 games, he's got 4 goals, had a hat trick a couple of days ago, and then the lone goal on a penalty kick against J.P. Stevens the other day. A week ago, he scored 4 goals in a match. So from an early season scoring drought for the Bears, they really, not only have they piled it on, but their defense has been as stingy as you can get.
We're looking forward to a good game today. I was talking to Michael Boyle, the St. Joe's coach, who's now in his 2nd season before the game started, and he said, you know, the kids get so caught up in this rivalry, and it's so intense, it almost takes away from the game sometimes. And at the same token, he also said, I'm not necessarily looking to beat East Brunswick per se. He said, I'm looking to win a game and have my kids improve and get ready for the county tournament and the state tournament. But it's hard to convince the players that that's what the task at hand is.
Well, sometimes there's a tendency to let your emotions overcome your skills, so we'll see what happens today. Surprisingly, this is one of the few times I can recall where there is not an East Brunswick resident playing for St. Joe's.
So East Brunswick will kick off home white jerseys with the dark green stripe across the chest, green shorts, white socks. St. Joe's in the visiting Kelly green jerseys with white shorts and white socks. Gordy Deal alongside Phil Peterson. 2 40-minute halves coming your way. GMC Red Division boys soccer action. Should be a good one here at J. Doyle Field in East Brunswick. Schneider standing alongside Parker, and they touch it back to Sultana. Try to get everybody involved early on as Channon knocks it back to the freshman Miller, just a freshman playing in that key sweeper spot for East Brunswick. Good through ball by Hockenjoss. Back to Channon they go. Channon feeling some pressure. And Miller changes field. And some good pressure on the far side by St. Joe's Lee Rabimbas. Forces Patterson to knock it out of bounds. St. Joe's in the throw. Rabimbas working on 2 men. And it will go out of bounds for a goal kick.
Yeah, Coach O'Boyle has been talking about some of the tough matches they've had lately. St. Joe seems to be having more of a tight contest than the Bears have, coming off a real tough loss against Piscataway, a game he felt they should have won last week.
Actually, they ruled it a corner kick, last touch by East Brunswick, so the first corner kick of the game. Served in, it's off the post, knocked over the top on a very, very close chance by Charlie Boble, who all he had to do was tap it in the net, but he punched it over the top, and then it clanged off the football goalpost. St. Joe's blows a golden opportunity there, and East Brunswick survives a scare.
Strange corner kick. Looked like he banana kicked it with the outside of his foot and deflected off the post, came out.
Ted Papadopoulos will knock it upfield for East Brunswick. Middle of the park, Monbaj Gill there, in on a challenge with Travis Tormey of St. Joe's. Tormey controls now. Out of bounds, and EB gets it.
Look for Baj Gill to play an important role today. He's has not had a lot of experience against St. Joe's, but he's only a sophomore, probably one of the tallest kids out there. Very smooth with the ball for someone his size.
Number 3, Elio Di Francesco for St. Joe's got dumped on the play. It'll be a free kick for the Falcons, who are operating right to left. Service in the box to good clear by Channon. Stepped in and knotted that ball wide. Gets his team out of trouble as they regroup here. Paul Medeiros, number 13, with a throw in for St. Joe's. And Rabimbas gets pushed to the ground. It'll be a St. Joe's free kick.
Bears marking tightly, very tentative right now. Tightly in the back, really not concentrating on pushing the ball forward at this point.
This is Ryan Garibaldi, the stopper, comes up for the free kick. Far service in the box. Boble giving chase. And a good play by Feichbaum lets it run out of bounds, and East Brunswick will have the goal kick. Mentioned before how critical this game is for both teams. St. Joe's right now with a loss and a tie in the division, while East Brunswick has 2 losses. So a win today by East Brunswick would give St. Joe's actually 2 losses and a tie. And if East Brunswick were to run the table with the rest of their games, they would win the GMC Red Division. St. Joe's also controls its own destiny. And if they were to run the table, including a win here today, they would also win the GMC Red. So a lot on the line today for these guys.
Well, St. Joe's started off strong this season. The Bears started off 1-2-1 in their first 4 games, and since then have been extremely strong. Not ranked in the Star Ledger, as is St. Joe's, but they're going to surprise a lot of teams.
Well, miscommunication here between Miller and Channon. And a quick play forward for Elio Di Francesco from Rabimbas. Rabimbas now running almost free, top of the box, and it's picked off there by Patterson. St. Joe's runs it down. Nice tackle by Patterson to break that play up. Gill plays it forward. A little flick from Schneider doesn't work, and St. Joe's controls. More pressure from Patterson way up from the outside back spot. East Brunswick has to be careful not to get caught here. You're on Shlomi with the throw-in. Gets for Sultana. 50-50 ball served up, and it's punched out by Boble. Ball uncontrolled in the middle of the park. Now Berlingeri with it. Goes wide for Tormey. Tormey down the wing, but Papadopoulos is there and covers for East Brunswick. Quick throw out now to Channon, who's got lots of room in front. Good ball in the middle for Sultana. Now for Hawkinjoss, who comes up. And knocked out of bounds by St. Joe's.
St. Joe's did a great job on a scouting report right now. Not a lot of freedom out there for the Bears forwards like we've seen in past matches.
Now, we talked about it at the top. This is going to be a critical game, as most are, of controlling the midfield because there's so much talent in there for both teams.
I guess you could consider this like the Army-Navy game. No matter what the records of the teams are, they always look forward to this one on the schedule.
You're not kidding. Both teams could be here at 0-11 today. They would be laying it on the line to beat one another. This will be the first touch for St. Joe's goalie Mike Fedorchik. Fedorchik, just a junior. And his short knock goes out of bounds about midfield.
Nice catch by the coach over there.
Substitution early on now. We're going to get a look at Kenny Seiler. Feichbaum is going to go to left outside midfielder. Seiler's going to stay on the near side and play the right midfield spot for Yaron Shlomi. Garibaldi gets whistled for the foul. If it were rodeo, actually, he would have got whistled for some good riding time that time.
And the fans would be cheering.
So it'll be a free kick. Little service to Sultana running on. Is back to the goal. He's double teamed and have an offsides call.
A questionable kick. Playing a ball from wide, that far wide, just to the short side, made it. It's going to be a difficult play regardless.
A little more than 7 minutes gone by here at J. Doyle Field. No score between old rivals St. Joe's and East Brunswick. There's good pressure now by St. Joe's. They had numbers, but good heads-up play there by Ross Channon, able to keep East Brunswick out of trouble. Feichbaum working with Sultana. Sultana breaks away. Sultana's got room. He's got Seiler wide on the right-hand side, but instead plays it at the traffic, and it sneaks through. Fedorchik there, and he snuffs out the chance that Kenny Seiler had.
Boy, all it took was just a couple of split second of miscommunication between St. Joe's. It almost cost them dearly.
That's Chris Parker, actually, who had the chance for East Brunswick. Here's Giacomo Berlingeri now, spinning away from trouble in a collision, and now with room, a 3-on-2 for St. Joe's. And Seiler is able to pick off the pass from Berlingeri and a heads-up defensive play. Chris Leahy, the sweeper, punches it forward for St. Joe's. Peterson wins the header for EB, but it goes out of bounds. It'll be a St. Joe's throw. And they're going to rule now that it's East Brunswick. Peterson with the toss. Well, Sultana got submarined in the midfield, no call. East Brunswick hangs on to possession. Harry Schneider looking for help from Ross Channon, and Channon dumps Rabimbas. Get a warning from the referee. Not to encourage fouls, but that might not have been a bad play because Rabimbas had a lot of real estate in front of him.
That referee did a good job that time. He pulled him aside, no cards issued, but just kind of let him know that that's not going to be tolerated today. Or any other day, for that matter.
Yeah. Ryan Garibaldi with the service in the box. Far corner. Flicked away by Monbaj Gill. See what Rabimbas does with it. He'll let it roll and take the throw. St. Joe's not a lot of guys in the box. And he'll give it to DiFrancesco, who will throw it in. Now they send a couple of more guys in the box, and a long throw. And a partial clear, and now it is cleared. Garibaldi gives chase. Schneider comes back to help and saves it.
Little sleight of hand by Ari to keep that ball in play that time.
Good job of holding his man off. Paul Medeiros will take the throw for St. Joe's, near sideline. Still no score. Channon pokes it, but it's picked off in the midfield, and now won back by East Brunswick. Sultana on the run, looking to feed Feichbaum, racing on the far sideline. Working there on Torme, and St. Joe's comes away with it. A lot of pressure on Leahy, the sweeper, and it's out of bounds.
Now, for what we see so far, you got to believe that the Bears midfielders are going to have to take more offensive chances because their forwards are just being marked very tightly.
Out of bounds off St. Joe's. This will be the first corner kick for East Brunswick. Ross Channon will do the honors. See how the Bears will like to play this. Haven't really tested Fedorchik yet. Schneider comes over looking for the short ball, but Torme is there. They're going to play it anyway. Back for Channon. Shanked the service a little bit, but they'll still control. Seiler is there. And doesn't do well with that chance, but it'll be a goal kick coming out for St. Joe's.
About 11 minutes in right now, and you know, not many except for the one corner kick by St. Joe's. Nothing really threatening at this point.
Ari Schneider working on two men. Tries to split. Gets knocked down, but earns the throw-in. It'll be taken by Channon. For Schneider. Play a little catch almost. Channon looking for service. This is Seiler. Seiler ahead for a cutting Schneider. Nice play and a good defensive play by Medeiros to clear it. Ilio Di Francesco trying to run it down for St. Joe's, but Feichbaum catches up and knocks it back for Hockenjoss. Good recovery on defense by East Brunswick that time. East Brunswick gets the throw. Peterson looking for help. Wide for Channon. Everybody's running away from them, though, and he's going to have to play the kick and run ball. Seiler is there, but so is Leahy, the St. Joe's sweeper. Channon with the pickoff, but loses his balance. Berlingeri, now Medeiros punches it up to nobody.
Channon limping around a little like he rolled his ankle over the ball.
Feichbaum beats two men, looking for service, but gets shut down there. Helping out, Matthew Larkin knocks the ball out of bounds. Off of Feichbaum, and it'll be a St. Joe's goal kick. Another substitution for East Brunswick as they will bring Vinny Vetri into the game for Ross Channon. Channon grimacing a little bit as he comes off. So Vetri wears number 20 in the middle of the park. In at right back for Channon. Here's Parker working on Larkin. Feichbaum comes to help but knocks it out of bounds. St. Joe's will get the throw. 13 minutes gone by, still no score. Critical GMC Red Division matchup between St. Joe's and East Brunswick. St. Joe's with a chance at a 2-on-1. A push from behind, but they get away with it. Rabimbas, the ball played forward for him. He can't get it, and good anticipation by Papadopoulos. Papadopoulos almost looks like a referee today, dressed in the all black.
Yeah, it's surprising that they allow a goalie to wear the black uniforms out there. You rarely see that. Yeah, right now with the tight marking, as the Bears push forward into the St. Joe's end, Bears forwards are being marked extremely tightly, but the halfbacks are getting a lot of space. You know, watch for somebody like a Kenny Seiler or a Sultana to really make their mark.
Berlingeri plays it forward. Torme can't catch up with it. EB gets it back. Peterson for Hockenjoss. Garibaldi steps in for St. Joe's. And a collision between Torme and Peterson, and the ball goes out of bounds. Garibaldi the throw, Di Francesco the flick. East Brunswick controls. Loose in the midfield again. Here's Garibaldi with time. And a big switch cross field for Boble. Boble gets dragged down from behind, and a whistle and a foul on Brett Hockenjoss. Bears will have to retreat.
Good call by the official. Hockenjoss might have gotten a little piece of the ball, but it is a dangerous situation.
Here's Berlingeri, 6 goals on the season. A little far away for a shot. Service in the box. Vetri flicks it out with the head. And it's a foot race. And it's won by Boble, but he got cut out by Seiler. And winds up getting the call. Medeiros will take the free kick on the near side. Ball kind of sitting on a hill. right there, kind of the out-of-bounds line for the football field with a couple of yards to the yellow line, which is the soccer out-of-bounds line.
Well, he had his preferred lie. Chipped up to the green.
Chose the right club that time.
Yeah.
And a whistle against St. Joe's. East Brunswick gets the free kick. 24.5 minutes to go. First half, still no score.
Not a free-flowing game at this point.
Boble wins the header, but Seiler is there to control it. Seiler plays forward, but no one's there. Leahy. Long kick and run ball we're seeing now. You're right. The game is a little unsettled.
Other games you may see chances taken, but here nobody wants to be the one to make that first mistake.
Still kind of feeling each other out so far. Parker, far sideline. Double team there and loses it. Torme comes back to help. Now Torme tries to take on two men and gets knocked to the ground, but draws the call. These two teams met earlier on in Metuchen. St. Joe's won the game 2-1. It was a game that East Brunswick led 1-0. Let the lead slip away. DeFrancesco gets served the ball against three men. Not the most favorable odds, especially with that East Brunswick defense. Both teams very solid on D. Here's the Papadopoulos boot. Boble wins it. DeFrancesco for Garibaldi. Swing around to Berlingeri, who's dangerous. Good read by Feichbaum on the chip, and East Brunswick brings it the other way.
Nice play by Hawkinjosh midfield to switch it.
Good vision on the change of field by Hawkinjosh. Boble comes up with it. A lot of pressure by Seiler. Medeiros. And now over to Larkin. Good job of St. Joe's swinging the ball around, getting out of trouble. Room in the midfield now for Torme, who leaves for Berlingeri. Post to DeFrancesco. Here's Rabimbas with room on the side, but Hawkinjosh is there. Schneider coming back for the ball. Medeiros wins it. And a jumping in call on DeFrancesco of St. Joe's, and East Brunswick gets the free kick.
Medeiros is the guy that O'Boyle looks to settle the team down, distribute the ball, just basically take charge of the players out there. And
long ball ahead for Parker, who nods it over the top, but Fedorchik able to run it down. He had a good idea because Fedorchik came off the line. Had he headed the ball on goal, that might have had a chance to go in because Fedorchik was out pretty far.
Yeah, both these goalies seem pretty liberal coming out of the line at this point.
Patterson, good read by DeFrancesco to let it play off of Patterson's head. Good job of running DeFrancesco off the ball by Keith Sultana.
I'll tell you, looking at that one, Keith took one look at the St. Joe's defender, looked at him again.
Referees letting them play.
Absolutely.
Schneider now working on two men. Finds Seiler. Seiler looking for help. Hawkinjosh calling for it. He opts for Patterson. Nice triangle play, but running out of room.
And time.
And Seiler with a giveaway to Rabimbas. Rabimbas in a 2-on-3. Now a 2-on-4 as Feichbaum comes back to help. A double team on Rabimbas. Slide tackle, poke away shot, and it's wide. Second shot for St. Joe's, although neither have been on goal.
Well, that mistake by Seiler was so unexpected. St. Joe's had no numbers anywhere near the offensive end.
Well, they had a nice triangle going on the near sideline. The problem was they stopped moving, and then St. Joe's was able to close in.
You try to work those triangles to free up a player or free up some space, but they try to use that same triangle too many times and they got caught.
Went to the well once too many times. About midway through the first half, still no score. Control of the midfield is what each team is trying to establish here so far. It's been kind of the theme we've had. A little helter-skelter in the midfield. Nice overlapping run by Ari Schneider, but he's matched step for step by Paul Medeiros. Medeiros definitely the best all-around player for St. Joe's. He's the guy they go to. Vinny Vetri with the long ball far side. out of bounds, and Brian Patterson will throw it in for East Brunswick. Patterson again with the long ball, but this will almost roll out of bounds, but not before. Parker did a good job of getting the cross off, and Fedorchik was there.
Even when he got that cross off, the Bear players were too deep outside the box. I was surprised.
Berlingeri with a chance here in a 1-on-2 situation, and a good play by the freshman Miller to snuff out the chance by Berlingeri. Two East Brunswick players ran together on the attempted header, and that sprung Berlingeri free. Back the other way, Fedorchik controls for St. Joe's. St. Joe's definitely the best scoring chance so far. A corner kick early on. The corner kick actually banged off the post, kicked out in front. Papadopoulos was out of position, but Charlie Boble for St. Joe's punched it over the top from 2 yards out on a wide open goal. So we remain scoreless.
Well, Coach O'Boyle's been running the table with the same players he started with.
Boble takes the throw. And he will again. Hockenjoss getting help from Sultana. Puts forward for Schneider with room. Nice overlapping run by Channon near sideline. Channon with room. Channon in a 2-on-1 with Parker. He cuts to the middle. Channon looking to free up himself for a shot. Here's a shot just wide of the net. Nice play by Sultana. Just poked that one wide. Good chance for the Bears.
It was a great play going downfield. Down the right side, the forward was dragging the defender back with him, which, as he kept going down, Channon kept getting all this open space in front of him. And there was no way Channon was going to be able to get a shot off. So it was a great read by both him and then Sultana to get the best opportunity the Bears have had so far.
Channon likes to come forward from the outside back position and is very dangerous doing it. Good step in by Patterson to win the head ball. That was definitely East Brunswick's best scoring chance so far.
I'll keep an eye on this, as the Bear forwards are getting marked very tightly, but the midfielders are getting a lot of space to roam free.
Sultana wins it from Berlingeri. Sultana dumps it forward for Parker, who runs on. Parker picked up there by Larkin. Good speed in the St. Joe's back. Larkin comes away with it. Now it's poked away. Channon with a long, looping, curling serve that'll go out of bounds on the far side. And it'll be a goal kick.
It's too bad they couldn't get a ball across. You had Scott Davis sprinting down the left side, nobody within 15 yards of him. Again, that overlapping midfielder is going to be the one that makes the difference for the Bears today.
Scott Davis in the game, playing outside midfield in for Eric Feichbaum. Davis just a junior. He with the ball now. Davis looking for help. Back for Miller. Here's Vetri with room for Channon. Again, open on the outside. Channon for Hockenjoss. They look to play forward. Patterson goes down. Seiler with it. Back for Miller. Well, the freshman has been impressive. Danny Miller. Good heads-up play by Miller again.
Well, he started off the season as looking veteran-like, and he's gotten better, progressively better as the season's gone on. A lot more confidence.
Here's Channon. Working on Leahy, the sweeper, who's a little out of position. Schneider plays forward for Channon. Channon with a nice curling serve in the box, and it's too far. Seiler was there, but it was a little too tall for him. And St. Joe's will get the throw coming out the other way.
St. Joe's not doing a good job of picking up the trailers.
Channon is having a field day right now with the open space he's been provided by St. Joe's. Again, East Brunswick with a takeaway, but it's won back by Garibaldi, who came over to help. This is Torme. Tries to clear, but it's picked by Patterson. Patterson gets dumped. Ball is free in the box. And a chance for Schneider. Schneider wheels and turns and drills it right at Fedorchik, who gobbles it up. First shot on goal for East Brunswick. And the first save of the afternoon by Fedorchik.
Snyder talking to himself about that last attempt, boy. Turned the defender around just the way he wanted.
East Brunswick's been dangerous the past couple of minutes. They have St. Joe's on their heels right now. Just under 15 minutes to play in the first half. Here's Channon again. Channon for Miller. And Rabimbas took it where the sun doesn't shine. He's doubled over near midfield as play continues the other way. This is Seiler. Seiler with the cross, cleared by Larkin. St. Joe's really dodging bullets now as East Brunswick continues to mount the pressure. Rabimbas down on his back, now gets on his knees. He is in a considerable amount of pain off the ball. Played by...
we don't want to speculate on the nature of his injury, but it's clear he's having trouble breathing right now.
Dan Miller played the ball forward, and in the process, let's just say it deflected off a very sensitive area of Rabimbas's body.
Well put.
Thank you. And you could tell by the sound where it hit. So the clock is stopped right now while they tend to Rabimbas. St. Joe's had a great chance early on. They missed an empty net. They put it over the top, and since then, East Brunswick has slowly pulled the momentum in their favor. And the Bears have had a number of chances here late. Not as good as the open net opportunity of St. Joe's, but a couple of good in-tight chances where they've created some good opportunities for themselves. And let's see if that momentum can continue when the clock resumes here. About 14 minutes left to play first half.
Oh, at this pace, you're looking at the prospects of a 1-0, 2-1 game, or even a very low-scoring game, and it's really going to come from the midfielders.
Seiler receives the throw-in. Long shot and a save by Fedorchik. Good eye by Seiler to test Fedorchik, who had slipped out a little bit toward the penalty spot area. Second shot on goal. Fourth shot overall now for East Brunswick, and the second save for Fedorchik. Here's Parker looking for Schneider. This time they pick up Channon on the overlap. They force East Brunswick to go backwards. Vinny Vetri. Good play by Vetri, but now trouble and a giveaway. Here comes Travis Torme. Torme with a chance and a save by Papadopoulos.
Torme could have gotten that off the ground. He would have had it in the back of the net because there was no way Papadopoulos was going to be able to get off the ground while he backpedaled.
Well, Torme, I think, was outmatched in speed, and he knew it, so he wanted to get the shot off early, but might have been better trying more of a chip shot. Papadopoulos had most of the angles covered. Free kick for East Brunswick. This is Peterson. Plays forward and out of bounds. Gives it back. Torme moved up to forward. In the game for St. Joe's is Christopher Johnson, a sophomore, playing on the right midfield spot where Torme was, in replacing Lee Rabimbas. Two players go down on the far side. St. Joe's plays forward. DiFrancesco knocks it out of bounds. It'll be an East Brunswick throw-in. Seiler will leave it from Vetri. Vetri comes all the way across the field to take this, so they must have something working here.
It was any two teams, but East Brunswick and St. Joe's would be a pretty uneventful game right now.
Vetri's going to give it a long chuck here. This will be played just like a corner kick. He'll throw it into the middle of the box. Fedorchik comes out, and it's cleared away by Leahy. Seiler regains for EB. All the way back to midfield for Miller. Miller plays forward. It's read by the St. Joe's defense, and an easy play for Fedorchik. There's Fedorchik's drop kick, nodded by Peterson. DiFrancesco battling Hockenjoss. Hawk plays for Seiler. This is Johnson. A lot of traffic in the middle, and Channon able to come in and poke it away. East Brunswick breaks away with it. This is Sultana with space. Chip up front for Parker and Schneider. Schneider is there. Gives a little Heisman move to Paul Medeiros. And the ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be a St. Joe's throw-in. Ari Schneider had two men on him, and he used the forearm there to create some space for himself and got away with it, but the ball went out of bounds.
Oh, Medeiros is no choir boy on that confrontation either. A couple of tough competitors.
Johnson with a misplay. Here's Seiler in the box. A weak service in front. Schneider is there, and he knocks it wide. Great chance for both Schneider and Chris Parker. Parker fanned on it, and Schneider just knocked it wide. Best chance so far for East Brunswick. Their 5th shot.
Boy, both Parker and Schneider right now trying to question what they have to do to get the ball in the net.
Momentum definitely in the favor of East Brunswick. 10:45 to play, first half, still no score.
Bears are definitely quicker off the transition. Well, they took that ball over with some strong pressure in midfield. Boy, they just turn on the jets.
Ross Channon has been a nightmare coming up the right flank side. St. Joe's has not figured out a way to stop him. Here's a long service in the box. Seiler there on the back of Johnson. Ball is loose. Channon with a left-footed shot drills it through the uprights too high, out of bounds. And East Brunswick more and more putting on that pressure, getting closer and closer chances. That is 6 shots overall. Only 2 have been on goal for East Brunswick, but the chances are there. They're creating the opportunities.
Well, Coach O'Boyle's got to be concerned about the defense at this point. You know, the Bears are roaming free in the box. That quick transition is causing a lot of mismarking.
Right now, his team just wants it more. East Brunswick, I should say.
If he can get out of here with a scoreless tie at halftime, it'll give O'Boyle a chance to settle the troops and try to regain some of their composure in the back.
Fedorchik will take the goal kick for East Brunswick, for St. Joe's rather. Still no score, tight game. Flick on by Bobel. Berlingeri there, trying to find Torme. Torme on a double team, loses it out of bounds. East Brunswick throw in. Torme wanted a foul, won't get it. Vetri will take the toss. Vinny throws forward. It's won there by Bobel. Channon controls. Channon looking for help. Nice flick split pass. Play it forward for Parker, who's got a chance. But it's cleared by Leahy. Out of bounds. East Brunswick continues with the pressure. Just under 9 minutes to play, first half. Called Channon's name a lot today. Most of the play has been here on the near sideline. Dangerous play. Sultana with the foot too high.
Sultana being exhorted on by his fan club.
Keith has to be careful. Gave a little heel flick at one of the St. Joe's players walking by.
As we said at the outset, there's a tendency to let your emotions overcome your skill level.
Got to be careful in games like this, no doubt. Have to show the composure.
The referees know the importance of this rivalry.
Nice play by Hockenjoss. Gets to Channon once again. Oh, we've seen that a number of times this season, you and I have, where nobody seems to pick up Channon when he makes the overlapping runs up the right flank. He has been a thorn in the side of just about every team we've seen him play against so far this year. Here's Patterson, left-footed serve in the box, cleared by St. Joe's, but not all the way. Channon wins it back. Channon with a left-footed volley. He kind of nubbed it at first and couldn't do what he wanted with it, but East Brunswick still in control. Hockenjoss. Wide for Schneider, facing a double team. Little split on the chip. Parker with his back to the goal. Turns and shoots, and a save by Fedorchik. Good play with his back to the goal by Chris Parker.
St. Joe's not doing a very good job at denying those passes.
Third save for Fedorchik, who's been called on a lot in the last 10 minutes. 7 minutes to go, first half, still no score, but East Brunswick's been knocking on the door. St. Joe's has not been as dangerous with Rabimbas out of the game. Get our first look today at Brian Larkin, number 22 for St. Joe's. His brother Matthew, older brother, plays outside back for St. Joe's. Ball out of bounds. It'll be a St. Joe's throw. 6.5 to go, first half.
Bears stacking up in the back, inviting the one-on-ones when they transition into midfield with Snyder and Chris Parker running up front.
Line drive throw by DiFrancesco. St. Joe's tries to control. Garibaldi run over by Seiler. And they're actually going to call Garibaldi on the foul. Garibaldi might have been ruled for a little submarine there. And now a push in the back, and that's going to draw a card on Ilio Di Francesco, and that's not smart.
That was uncalled for. That was clearly, blatantly obvious, right in front of his coach as well.
So he'll have to come out of the game as Mike O'Boyle gets an explanation from the referee on the far side. Not much to say about that one. Alan Pitts, Jr., gets a look up front for St. Joe's now. He'll run there with Travis Torme. Keith Sultana having a word with the official. The captain gets the explanation. And Sultana will take the free kick on the far sideline. Just under 6 minutes to go. Again, no score. St. Joe's and East Brunswick. Critical GMC Red Division game. And a long change of fields. This is Vinny Vetri who misplayed it. It's out of bounds. St. Joe's will get it back. Matthew Larkin. And he'll do it again. It's easy to find the Larkin brothers for St. Joe's. They both have red hair.
That play getting a little chippy on the St. Joe's end right now as Channing got submarined again by Alan Pitts.
Right on the small of his back. Shannon let out a nice little cry, I think, that helped draw the foul.
The seasoned veteran that he is.
Here's a chance for Sultana with a little bit of room. Serves it in the box. Far post. Fedorchik comes out, and it's headed away by St. Joe's. Heads up play by Garibaldi. Fedorchik, I guess, never called him off, or Garibaldi ignored it, one or the other. And East Brunswick will get its second corner kick of the match. Schneider and Channon there. They thought about the short play. It looks like Schneider now will tee it up.
I look for a long ball that's all Vince Vetri.
In the box, St. Joe's is there. Seiler settles. Puts it on net, but Fedorchik is there. Another save for Fedorchik, his fourth. Eighth shot overall, and the fourth on net for East Brunswick.
Well, that fluorescent goalkeeper's vest he has on is like a bullseye right now. All 4 shots on goal have been right at him.
Just over 4 minutes to play. First half, 0-0. Ball out of bounds. Some helter-skelter play on the far sideline. This is Seiler. Now Hockenjoss. Picked by Berlingeri. Berlingeri with a long service for Pitts. And it's out of bounds. Peterson with a quick restart. Hockenjoss with Berlingeri on him. Races by him. Play forward for Parker. Flick back inside. Seiler, who's got a chance. Seiler with the free left foot. Looking for service in the box. Parker there, but it's knotted out of bounds on a good defensive play by,
I'll tell you,
Matthew Larkin.
Fedorchik seems like an athletic keeper, but I question whether he's communicating well with his defense. There's been a lot of balls in there so far that he should clearly have gotten to.
Channon with the corner kick. That's the third for East Brunswick. And a flick on by Scott Davis. And Fedorchik is there.
Well, you hope that all this pressure is going to lead to something in the back of the net pretty soon, because the Bears have certainly had some glorious opportunities.
Here's Sultana with a touch inside. Beats 2 men. The third comes in with a poke tackle. Sultana still with it. And now shanks a left-footed shot out of bounds. It'll be a St. Joe's throw-in on the far side with about 2:15 to play here in the first half. It is just about as perfect a day as you're going to get for the middle of October.
We will take it.
Larkin with the throw in for St. Joe's, far side. Looking for Garibaldi, but can't find him. Seiler picks it for Hockenjoss. Now Patterson. Schneider wins it, beats 2 men. Back to the goal, and a nice tackle by Banderos, although questionable from behind. Seiler looking for help, poked away by Johnson. St. Joe's can't clear. Sultana wins it back. Sultana for Seiler. Again poked away, but not cleared. East Brunswick is just hungrier for the ball right now than St. Joe's. And a push on Johnson of St. Joe's, and East Brunswick will get a free kick.
It's amazing how a kid like Schneider, who is not a willowy wispy kid, can knife his way into those tight open spots like he does and make virtually something out of nothing.
Here's Parker with a chip on the far side and cleared by St. Joe's. Patterson steps in. East Brunswick just first to the ball right now. That's the difference in the game. Johnson knocks it up wing and nobody's there. St. Joe's out of position. But again, their 2 starting forwards are out of the game right now. Elio Di Francesco and Lee Rabimbas, both sitting. Not been a lot of offense generated by St. Joe's since the early going. It's been all East Brunswick for about the past 30 minutes of this 40-minute half. Chris Larkin, now Garibaldi with the chip up wing. Berlingeri's going to give chase, but ball rolls out of bounds before he can get there. Patterson the throw-in. Time winding down now, first half. And we are in extra time, so any moment we'll hear the first half whistle.
Well, we did have that minor injury to Di Francesco and a couple of yellow cards, which precipitated the clock stoppage.
Here's Channon again, right wing. Pokes it by Larkin, but Larkin knocked out of bounds, and that's the end of the first half. 40 minutes in the books here at J. Doyle Field. No score between St. Joe's and East Brunswick. St. Joe's missed a golden opportunity in the first 2 minutes on the empty net. They put it over the top. That could have changed the complexion of the game, but since then, it's really been all East Brunswick.
Well, they've been taking target practice at Fedorchik with that yellow vest on. Everything's been right at him, that the balls that have been on the net. Watch for a midfielder to knife through in the second half. That's going to be the way it is.
They continue to battle for control of the midfield. East Brunswick with 9 shots overall, 5 of them on goal. St. Joe's with 3 shots overall, only 1 of them on goal. Corner kicks, East Brunswick 3, St. Joe's 1 in the first half. Mike Fedorchik with 4 saves for St. Joe's, and Ted Papadopoulos with 1 for East Brunswick. So no score. Stay tuned for the second half. All right, getting set for the final 40 minutes, second half action here at J. Doyle Field. Gordy Deal alongside Phil Peterson. St. Joe's and East Brunswick deadlocked in a 0-0 tie. St. Joe's will kick it off and operate from left to right.
At this pace, you may be premature saying the final 40 minutes.
No question that East Brunswick had the better of play in the latter 3 quarters of the first half. We'll see if they can put the ball in the net here since they set themselves up so well. St. Joe's, in the meantime, is going to have to get the offense in gear if they expect to win. Berlingeri for St. Joe's has been fairly quiet. And East Brunswick has just been first to the ball all afternoon. Schneider in for Sultana, gets tangled up with Garibaldi. And a foul against Garibaldi. East Brunswick with the free kick. At right midfield for St. Joe's is Ryan LaRue. He's a junior. He'll pick up Kenny Seiler. Hockenjoss for Channon. Channon with a flick, but nobody there.
Well, Sultana's looking for anything to do aside from soccer. He'd make a heck of a rugby player.
Ari Schneider with a chance. A flick over the head of the defender Medeiros, and Fedorchik is there. A good chance early on for East Brunswick in the opening minute of the second half. Still no score. Seiler on the near sideline. Tosses ahead for Parker in a battle with Matthew Larkin. Parker there, gets pushed off by Larkin, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a St. Joe's goal kick. And Larkin might have gotten away with one there.
But he did it very subtly.
Fedorchik will take the goal kick for St. Joe's. Falcons come in with a record of 8-2-1. East Brunswick at 8-3-1. Nice win by Sultana in the air. Schneider shields off Medeiros, and then Medeiros knocks the ball out of bounds, and they dig up a divot there just outside the 18. It'll be a corner kick for East Brunswick. This will be their 4th of the game.
Well, the groundskeeper won't be happy with that one. Medeiros is doing probably the tightest marking job on Schneider that he's had all year.
They play short. This is Channon. Now for Schneider. Drills a shot across the middle of the box. St. Joe's trying to clear. Seiler is there with a free look, left-footed volley off the crossbar. And Medeiros and Schneider get tangled up again, and this time the call goes against Schneider, so St. Joe's will have the free kick coming out. But both teams have hit the crossbar at that end of the field.
Well, they're dead on with their shots. The shots that the Bears have taken, those that have not missed by much. That was far and away the best opportunities.
You notice that East Brunswick's opportunities have gotten closer and closer as the game has worn on. Now they've hit the post. How much closer can they get? Here's LaRue. Has it poked away by Scott Davis, but LaRue wins back. LaRue with a chip for DiFrancesco, who's got some room. Now for Larkin running on. Larkin dragged down from behind, no call. LaRue still with it. With a flick, Rabimbas is there. Rabimbas has it poked away by the freshman Miller in a nice play. And steps over the slide and wins the throw-in. What a play by Miller. Actually going to give St. Joe's the throw-in.
Yeah, it looked like he signaled for a white throw initially.
Ball loose in the box. Channon there. Berlingeri. Channon clears for East Brunswick. Parker in a foot race. Leahy wins for St. Joe's. Christopher Larkin. Far side for St. Joe's. Left-footed service in the box is cleared. And Seiler dumps it for Channon. But Channon really with some good composure. Like the way he's played tonight. Having a terrific game, both offensively and defensively. 3.5 minutes gone by, no score.
Play getting a little more physical in the second half.
This is Matthew Larkin, older brother of Chris Larkin for St. Joe's. Both on the field at this time. St. Joe's throw, the elder Larkin with the toss.
Last couple of minutes, the Bears have been content just to dump it out of their end instead of build an attack from the back like they did so much in the first half.
Ari Schneider has done a good job of coming back for the ball instead of taking off and racing forward when his midfield gets it. Being patient with his runs, and there's why. Wins the ball there. Now a service cross field for Scott Davis. Davis there. Fedorchik. It's poked between the wickets. And Fedorchik drags down Davis, so we're going to have a penalty kick.
Boy, I'll tell you, that is a very tough call. The ball was already out of bounds at the time Fedorchik lifted his foot up with the hand. Boy, tough call.
Actually, now they're going to change it and say goal kick. My mistake. Fedorchik got away with one there, as did St. Joe's.
Well, never mind then.
Garibaldi clears out of bounds.
Honestly, the ball was already out of bounds at the time. There was a clear intent to take the player down, but the play was already dead at that point.
East Brunswick will get the throw in. Fans are starting to sense the urgency here and picking up on the intensity of the game. And we'll get a big chuck here by number 20, Vinny Vetri.
Too bad his name's not Chuck, huh?
Long throw, as good as a corner kick cross. It's free in the box. And Christopher Larkin guides it out of bounds. Lets it roll, and St. Joe's gets a goal kick out of it.
6 minutes in, we've had a couple of momentum shifts already. St. Joe's had the attack after the Bears took it to them early in the second half. Bears were settled down just to boot it out of their end. Now all of a sudden it's shifted back down to St. Joe's back on their heels.
Coach of St. Joe's, Michael Boyle, said before the game, this is a tough place to play, tough place to win. Now push off on East Brunswick. Now the referee changes the call and says push off on St. Joe's. It'll be an East Brunswick free kick. These teams have split a lot of games over the years, winning on their home field, winning on the other guy's turf, and then losing on their home field. Terrific rivalry. Two excellent soccer programs. Vetri, service in the box. It's won by Garibaldi. Parker there. He'll let it ride, and it'll be a corner kick. 5th corner kick of the game coming up for East Brunswick. Ross Channon up from the marking back spot to take the kick. 7 minutes gone by. Soft line drive. Larkin clears, gets away from Sultana. DiFrancesco. Sultana with the shoulder flick of the ball and a whistle and a foul against St. Joe's. Lee Rabimbas came back to try to get it. Instead, knocked down Sultana. Actually, they're going to call Sultana on the foul, so it's St. Joe's free kick.
Well, Keith just can't let his temper get the better of him. He's a fiery kid, and you don't want a goal scored because of a heated temper tantrum.
Leahy with the back pedal. Wins the header, but East Brunswick controls. Nice chest flick that time by Schneider. Parker there has it blocked, but recovered by the overlapping Channon. Drills a shot on net. It's free in front. Score!
Hawkinjosh.
Fedorchik blocked the initial shot, and crashing the goal from the stopper position was Brett Hawkinjosh. Terrific finish by East Brunswick. They've been getting closer and closer, as we said, and they finally cash in with 32 minutes left to play in the game. That's good heads-up, aggressive goal crashing by East Brunswick, and they finally cash one in. And they lead it 1-0 in this critical GMC Red Division game.
Boy, that's just what they needed, because now that St. Joe's is going to have to pull out of their back a little more if they want to tie this one up. And that's going to open up a lot of opportunities for this quick bear forward.
Well, East Brunswick led in the first match these two played, and then surrendered 2 goals and wound up losing. So they understand at this point how critical their lead is. Here's pressure from Seiler, working on LaRue, and he wins it. Seiler with a good deke. Here's a serve in the box, and it's blocked by Leahy out of bounds.
Yeah, that's just a great basic turn move. Kids learn these things in practices and everything, but when it comes to game time, they forget about them. You watch these things, they really do work if you put them into practice.
Goal kick for St. Joe's. Seiler and Schneider couldn't quite connect.
Well, we did say that the most likely area to get a goal was from the back.
Throw in. Schneider with it, looking for help. Backs it up for Hawkinjosh. Looking to change field, and now East Brunswick in some trouble. Here's Berlingeri off to the races. Berlingeri plays forward. And the run by DiFrancesco a little late, and Papadopoulos able to pick it off. Good opportunity there. We talked about the first 2 minutes after a goal has been scored and how dangerous it is for both sides. Here's Schneider in a 1-on-2. Rips a volley, and it's going to be over the top.
Oh, these back passes in the defense have got to be a little more confident and less of these feathering passes. It's the third time this game where we've seen the Bears try to play it from the back and almost get themselves caught.
Fedorchik. Long goal kick, middle of the park. Berlingeri in a battle. Davis now with Boble hanging all over him. Davis goes down. Foul on Boble and another free kick for the Bears. 10 minutes into the second half, and East Brunswick leads at 1-0. Good defensive step through that time by Banderos to beat both men. Sultana with a quick toss. Parker with his back to the net. Gets held off, and Fedorchik will control.
If it's any premonition, the Bears have not given up more than 2 goals this year. As a matter of fact, they've been extremely stingy the last half dozen games.
East Brunswick currently riding a 5-game winning streak. 4 of those have been shutouts. They've played well as of late. This was a team that at one point was 3-3-1. They've reeled off 5 in a row and are now 8-3-1. Fedorchik with the drop kick. Berlingeri and Hawkinjosh with the initial battle. Here's Channon with room for Davis. Davis with a nice flick and a run on for Sultana. Forward for Schneider. Picked off by Fedorchik.
A little too north-south in that pass. If he swings that out a little wider to the left, Snyder's got a tap in because Fedorchik came way off his line. You know, beating a team that's ranked in the state number 18 should give the Bears some serious consideration for their own ranking should they hold on to this lead.
Good communication there by Leahy, who lets the ball through to Fedorchik. Line drive, drop kick. Rabimbas beaten by Hockenjoss, now Garibaldi. Play wide for Larkin. Larkin drills it up the middle to Rabimbas, poked away by Patterson. Patterson has been first to the ball all night long. Here's Channon again. Tries to push it past Larkin, does so, but it went out of bounds. St. Joe's throwing. Again, Patterson steps in and pokes it away, and they're going to whistle Schneider for the offsides.
Boy, that was a late whistle. The idea with an offside call is the position of the player at the time the ball is released, not the time they receive it. So if there's a big delay, you question whether the call should have been made in the first place.
Leahy with a long drive for St. Joe's. Here's Seiler. Davis wins it back for East Brunswick, and he resets. Tried to serve up the flank to an overlapping Shannon. And a whistle and an East Brunswick free kick. Shannon, far sideline. Pushes it through and wins it back. Shannon, nice step through. Shannon with room. Trip down from behind, and now we're going to have a penalty kick.
Well, I have no doubt that there was some physical contact, but I will say Shannon is a master at milking these calls, shall we say?
Well, I think he had room, so I don't think he was looking to really draw a call there because his intention was to get to the goal line and serve it, best I could tell. So Ari Schneider now with a big chance to put East Brunswick up by 2. Just under 27 minutes to play.
There didn't seem to be much argument from the St. Joe's side.
And he scores, and East Brunswick with a 2-0 lead.
All Fedorchik could do was guess on that one, and Schneider drilled it.
Ari Schneider scored on a penalty kick in the last game. It was a 1-0 win over Edison. He had the deciding goal with just moments left, and it gives East Brunswick a crucial 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Gordy, this is the time of game with about 14 minutes left when St. Joe's is just giving up 2 relatively quick goals where you wonder what their psyche is now and what their strategy is for the remainder of the game. Obviously, it's to push forward, but there's something about giving up 2 quick ones to East Brunswick especially that we'll see if they can maintain their composure.
Well, they say that 2-0 is the most dangerous score in soccer.
Well, I'd rather be on the positive side of that 2-0 score.
Better to have to defend a 2-0 score than try to dig a hole from it. East Brunswick with a 2-0 lead. And looking good here in the second half. They've looked good most of the game except for the first couple of minutes. Just flat out beating St. Joe's to the ball.
I got to tell you, as solid as their defense has played, I mean, probably Coach Haston has all the confidence right now in their ability to maintain this lead. As it is, St. Joe's only has 1 forward attacking against 2 defenders right now.
Medeiros with play in the midfield. Berlingeri will pick it up. Berlingeri is dangerous. Hanging on to it, working on 3 men, loses it, but it finds its way to Boble. Boble plays it wide. This is Larkin. Service in the box. Cleared there by Miller. And the freshman comes away with it again. He has been rock solid in the games we've watched him this year. Here's Boble with the turn. St. Joe's getting it to DiFrancesco with his back to the goal. A push on East Brunswick. And it'll be a free kick. And we'll see what they do with it here.
Yeah, DiFrancesco's got to be careful, too. He's a little frustrated. He's already drawn 1 yellow card today.
St. Joe's with the free kick. 25 minutes to play.
I'd expect Berlingeri to just drill this one.
And he does, and he drills it wide. So a shot for St. Joe's, but not one on net. And Papadopoulos will take the goal kick for East Brunswick. 24 minutes to play. LaRue wins the header. Berlingeri controls. Poked away by Hockenjoss. Bobel retrieves with pressure from Channon. Attempt at a change of fields, but Seiler wins it. Seiler kind of knocks a 50-50 ball in the air. DiFrancesco looked to make something happen in the box, but he's outnumbered 3-1. Here's Leahy. Moderate pressure from Schneider. And he steps through in a dribble, and that's a dangerous play. Now he gets knocked down by Sultana.
You know, as little as he's had to touch the ball today, Papadopoulos is doing a terrific job of organizing the defense.
Again, Patterson wins a head ball. He's been dominant in the air today. Been dominant on the ground as well.
You know, Patterson's a kid. At the beginning of the year, was out on the JV team. He got brought up to varsity, got some playing time in the first match we televised, and he's been a starter and a steady player ever since.
St. Joe's gets whistled for the offsides. Medeiros, the victim of a hard tackle, was slow getting up. Appears to be okay. East Brunswick get the free kick on the far side. Just over 17 minutes gone by here in the second half. 2-0. East Brunswick with a pair of goals in the second half. Schneider with a nice back heel for Seiler. Seiler rips one wide.
You know, not a bad attempt. He had very little to work with there. If he took the ball too far wide, he was going to take away any angle.
East Brunswick now with 13 shots, 6 of them on goal. St. Joe's with just 4 shots and only 1 on goal. Patterson that time a little too aggressive.
Good call. The officials have done a very good job considering the intensity of the game.
Leahy plays wide for Larkin, in for Berlingeri. This is Bobel. Bobel loses his balance. Tries to jump back on the ball. Got away with a dangerous play, and East Brunswick will win it anyway. Parker has it poked away, though, and now Sultana. Ari Schneider wide. Schneider back toward the middle, and a nice change of field for Shannon. Shannon we have seen do that all game long, and he's got lots of room. Cuts toward the middle. A poke for Schneider. Garibaldi wins it. St. Joe's the other way. Nice step in by Hockenjoss. Hawk looking for the service. In the box. And it's cleared away by St. Joe's.
Parker looked a bit offside in that right side, but the official couldn't catch that. You know, Ari Schneider, such a smooth, cool customer under pressure. You know, initially you'd think, well, he's going to get the ball and just chip it long. Instead, he let everybody run by him, watch the space open up, went to switch fields, and just settled things down to give everybody a chance to catch their breath and organize.
Substitution for East Brunswick. Ross Channon will take a breather as Eric Feichbaum returns. Keith Sultana is sent to take the corner kick for East Brunswick. Just under 21 minutes to play. And they'll play it short for Feichbaum. Feichbaum, Sultana, looping cross. Davis there. Fedorchik pounces on it.
Hardest ball for a goalie to save is the one being knotted down to the ground. You're expecting that ball to come up high, and it's going right down at you.
Travis Torme breaks away from the pack for St. Joe's. Tackled from behind. And Hockenjoss is going to earn a card. So this could be critical because Hockenjoss will now have to come off the field.
I'll tell you, I'm surprised Torme didn't so much slither around anyone at a time as steamroll through him.
So at a critical period, Hockenjoss will have to come off. Monbaj Gill, who normally plays the withdrawn forward spot, will drop back into the stopper position for Hockenjoss. St. Joe's with 5 men in the box looking for this service. Here's a flick by Boble. Inside for DiFrancesco, bicycle kick, and it's grabbed by Papadopoulos.
That first touch by DiFrancesco should have been a crack at the net. He took himself right out of any scoring opportunity.
It's only the second shot on goal for St. Joe's this afternoon. Feichbaum in a battle for it. And a whistle and a foul against St. Joe's. LaRue took down Seiler. Midway through the second half, East Brunswick with 2 second-half goals leads this 2-0. Critical Greater Middlesex Conference Red Division matchup. Travis Tourmay on the far sideline working on 3 East Brunswick defenders. He will earn the throw-in. Long serve. Vetri there for East Brunswick. Berlingeri with a little chip in the box. Nobody's going to get to it except Papadopoulos. Papadopoulos drills this deep into the other end. St. Joe's collects. This is LaRue with a nice touch for Berlingeri, but it'll roll out of bounds on that sloping sideline. And EB gets the throw.
And here I was thinking we could go an entire game without mentioning that crown. You blew it, Gordy.
It's just a nightmare. But I tell you what, you're a high school player. You love playing under the lights, and you don't care what field it's on.
Absolutely.
You play in the parking lot, these guys would be happy playing under the lights. Foul at East Brunswick. St. Joe's with a free kick. This is Berlingeri.
Well, I'm sure they all went home and did their homework prior to the match, too.
Make that Medeiros with the free kick. And the ball was out of bounds before Sultana played it forward, so St. Joe's will get the throw. LaRue for DiFrancesco in a race with Patterson. Patterson shields him off.
Just outside the box.
And they're going to whistle Patterson for the foul just outside the box. You mentioned. Very close call.
Yeah,
Close to being a penalty kick, only a step away.
That'll be like a short corner kick here.
We'll see what Berlingeri can do with it. St. Joe's offense has been anemic today. Hard ground ball. And Sultana able to clear. It's a foot race. Chris Parker racing against 2 men. Oh, good yeoman's work by Parker. Blue collar effort. He's got to be tired and finally dumps it off to Seiler. Really in a heated battle with Gerard Reitz. Reitz slowed things down enough, but East Brunswick maintains control, and Monbage Gill lets the pass sneak by him. St. Joe's the other way. Travis Tourmay with real estate and speed. Tourmay
but
at
no
offsides. Well, they missed the offsides call, but it goes out of bounds. It'll be an East Brunswick throw-in.
Well, he did make the call. No, he didn't.
It's going to be a throw-in. 16 and a half minutes to go. 2-0 East Brunswick. Couple of substitutions. Brett Hockenjoss returns to the game, as does Ross Channon. You're on Shlomi and Monbage Gill check out for the Bears. Scott Davis also in. Eric Feichbaum is out. Medeiros with the flick head.
For a team that's down 2-0 right now, they're not pushing anyone forward. It's basically 3-on-5 down on the Bears' end.
And here's a chance for Channon and Schneider in a 2-on-1. Channon breaks in. Channon with a wide open Schneider and an offsides call. Tough break for East Brunswick in the 2-on-1. And you can hear Dan Hastings shouting from here that Channon's got to shoot that ball. The quarters were too tight. He did well to draw the 2 men, but he should have shot it long before that. Fortunately, his team leads 2-0. 15 and a half to play.
Well, if St. Joe's is going to make its move, they've got to do so in the next 4 or 5 minutes.
Seiler Racing up the near sideline. Beats LaRue. Soft service in the box and a clear by Medeiros.
Ball was right between Parker and Davis. They both kind of glance at each other, wondering who's going to take it.
So a throw in for EB. Again, we'll see the long baseball pass here from Vinny Vetri. Got a cannon. And a short width to work with. Here's the throw. Fedorchik is there, and he makes the catch. With a little bump from Parker just to let him know he was there. Fedorchik with the long ball. East Brunswick is back, and they have numbers. It's been a difficult go for St. Joe's against a very, very tough East Brunswick defense. Bears have won 5 in a row, and 4 out of the 5 have been shutouts. And they're on their way, working on a 5th shutout in 6 games today.
Well, this will avenge one of the losses they've had if they can hang on to take this. They've got another even tougher test on Friday when they go over to Piscataway, a team that beat them 2-0 earlier in the season. That's the last time the Bears lost, as a matter of fact.
Here's a flick on, and again, St. Joe's not getting enough people forward. Outnumbered 2 against 4 each time they play the ball forward. Medeiros knocks it up for DiFrancesco. He plays on the far side. And well read by Brian Patterson, who's had an MVP-type game on defense. 13.5 to play, 2-0 East Brunswick in the lead. A win here would temporarily put them in the driver's seat in the red division.
Expect to see these two teams butt heads again or in the conference semifinals or finals.
Torme plays forward. And there's a rip, and it's wide. Good opportunity for St. Joe's that time. Berlingeri had a nice look from the top of the box, but unable to put it in.
Boy, he set himself right. Just the right touch. Once that ball hit the ground, it was at the right level for hitting a strong volley. Just a little too far to the left. But again, there was no St. Joe's players down there if there was a rebound.
LaRue has it blocked by Seiler. And a dangerous play. Scott Davis came in with the foot a little bit too high. Gerard Wrights plays it forward for St. Joe's. Garibaldi will pick it up on the far side and play it back for Leahy. St. Joe's doesn't really need to be going back at this point, although there's still 12 minutes remaining. They need to push forward. They need to shrink the field a little bit, and they haven't done that. Now DiFrancesco with a chance. Running on Berlingeri. Stepping through is DiFrancesco. Papadopoulos able to come over. One of the few times they've given Papadopoulos a good solid test in this ball game. Now they clear forward to Parker in a 2-on-2.
Well, it's the second time in the last few minutes that Berlingeri has had a poor first touch. Or excuse me, DiFrancesco, and taking themselves out of a potential scoring opportunity.
Throw in for Torme. Knocked out of bounds as he collided with Channon. Just over 11 minutes to go. East Brunswick protecting a 2-0 lead. 2 goals here in the second half. Snapped a 0-0 deadlock. Breaking through now St. Joe's, a slide tackle. Torme tried to draw a foul, couldn't do it.
If Patterson hadn't gotten as much of the ball as he did, he might be looking at a penalty kick right now.
Patterson doing another good job on defense. Here's Schneider. East Brunswick on the counterattack. An overlapping Sultana. Working on Wrights. Nice feed to cutting Parker, who was unable to come up with it, and Leahy races away for St. Joe's. 10.5 to go. Leahy taking matters into his own hands all the way from the sweeper spot. Beats 2 men on the dribble. How many more will he try to take on? There's 3 and finally gets dragged down. He beat Davis, and then Davis clipped his feet. St. Joe's with the free kick, and Shannon there to interrupt it. This is Torme. Can't step through the dribble as Sultana picked him. And right now they're just blasting it forward to Ari Schneider, hoping for a foot race. It's what they get here. Schneider with a chance. One-on-one with Fedorchik, and he scores! Ari Schneider with his second straight goal, and East Brunswick has blown this one open, leading 3-0 with 10 minutes to go.
That was a terrific non-call by the official. I mean, both players were fighting shoulder to shoulder going downfield that time. That was probably one of the best non-calls you'll see. Although I don't think you'll get the same argument, same agreement from the St. Joe sidelines.
Eric Feichbaum checks back in the game. Monbaj Gill also returns as Hockenjoss takes a breather, along with Scott Davis. This has been an impressive outing for East Brunswick. They got a wake-up call early in the game when St. Joe's in the first 2 minutes had a corner kick glance off the East Brunswick goalpost, and then an open net was pushed over the top by Charlie Boble. But since then, it's been all East Brunswick. And that time they got one of those dirty goals where they're just trying to clear it out and hope Schneider would get in a foot race, and he did, and he won it. Schneider now 6 goals in his last 3 games. He has been on a tear. Has played very well with his back to the goal and has come back to get the ball from the midfielders, which has really made a difference in this East Brunswick offense.
I think he's due for a rest. He's had
asking.
a long, hard game.
Yeah.
He's been in there every minute.
He's asking for one now, and he gets it. Joran Shlomi will jump in up top. Schneider catching a breather. And a well-deserved one at that.
Well, any college coaches coming to these games have obviously get a great look at what an Ari Schneider can do, and actually some of these other kids as well. It's been a total team effort out here, and we've seen them grow from the first game we did earlier this season to where they're just poised to make a great run at the conference and the state titles.
You can remember the first game that you and I did together a couple of games into the season against Brick. And Dan Haston had told us before the game that the team still hadn't found its chemistry yet. He was still kind of tooling with the lineup a little bit. Found the personnel he wanted. And they've done well since.
Well, maybe it was us. That was their turning point.
Oh,
From
yeah.
that point on, they're going to bring us on the road and everything.
I think it's safe to say we won't get any mention in the
Never.
in the yearbook about this being a particular good luck charm.
Our arms will just be sore from patting ourselves in the back,
Exactly. Little over 8 minutes to play. East Brunswick up 3-0. It's been just a good blue-collar effort by East Brunswick today. They've been first to the ball all afternoon long, and it has paid off in goals big time in the second half. 3 second-half goals. This game was 0-0 at halftime, although East Brunswick did have the better of play. Here's one of the keys to that defense today. Brian Patterson has been terrific, up from JV early on in the year, as you mentioned.
You don't see a real emotion out of St. Joe's today, to be very honest with you. I mean, they've had some flashes out there, but I think at this point, once they realized that East Brunswick was taking it to them like they did, it's been more a frustration than anything.
And East Brunswick has just had numbers in the back all day. St. Joe's has consistently played in a 2-against-3, 2-against-4 scenario, not getting really the support help they need from the midfield.
One of Ted Papadopoulos' easier days.
Patterson will take the throw-in. He's been outstanding on defense today. Just dominated every man that's come into his zone. Here's LaRue. Outside of the foot flick. It's a 50-50 ball. St. Joe's has not played that ball possession game that they like to play. They've not been as direct as they normally are. Here's Larkin. His cross is blocked.
Can't find it. And
Travis Torme had a shot at it, but got turned around and lost the ball, and that was enough for it to roll out of bounds and to give Papadopoulos and company a goal kick coming out. 6.5 to go.
do you think Coach Hastings breathing a little easier right now?
No question.
17 years he gets the highlighter and highlights that St. Joe's game on his schedule.
Andy Baldwin, number 8 in the game now for St. Joe's. St. Joe's throw in on the far sideline. St. Joe's with an opportunity, but again, EB sniffs it out. Ross Channon gets dragged down, no call. And Channon appears to be in some pain.
Looks like he's holding his wrist.
Channon gets up, Scott Davis comes in, and Channon's going to sit back down again, and we'll see what happens here.
Looks like he came down on his wrist from the way he's cradling it.
Got dumped hard on the far sideline. We won't speculate anymore, but he's obviously in a considerable amount of pain. His club leads with 5:21 left to play. And this has really been East Brunswick's game since the opening minutes when St. Joe's had that early opportunity. They blew an open net, which would have given them the 1-0 lead just about 2 minutes into the game. And since then, East Brunswick has been first to the ball.
Well, we set the framework early when the way the defenses were set up. We were speculating that the first goal was going to come from an overlap or from the back, and sure enough, with Brett Hawkinjaw sliding through and nailing the first one, it forced St. Joe's to try to open it up a little offensively, and when that happened, the penalty kick goal by Schneider was a result of a break-in, and then, of course, Ari's third goal on the breakaway.
East Brunswick just with a commanding performance here. As Phil Hostler, the trainer here at East Brunswick, has a look at Ross Channon. It does appear that they're examining his arm. That's Phil Hostler bent over having a look at Channon. And Channon's come a long way. Watched him early on in the preseason. He was a spokesman for the GMC sportsmanship gathering of captains and coaches and seniors. And he admittedly, as we see him get to his feet now, he is favoring that wrist, that left arm. But Channon spoke and admitted that he was a hothead and had learned to change his ways after some time on Dan Hastings' bench. Reminded him that he needed to control his emotions better. So Shannon's been a model citizen, and as he walks off the field here, I hope it's nothing too serious. Definitely favoring the left arm. Looking at his wrist specifically. If we get any information, we'll certainly pass it on. 5 minutes, 21 seconds left to play. They will be without the services of Ross Channon, likely for the remainder of the game. Fortunately, he has helped them get to this 3-0 shutout so far. And East Brunswick now can certainly think about having some good momentum going into the Piscataway game, looking to avenge another loss. St. Joe's beat them 2-1 earlier on this year. They're likely going to avenge that, and now they have a chance to do it against a tough Piscataway club.
St. Joe's changing keepers now. Of course, with no number.
Here's a play forward now. Seiler running on. Seiler with a chance, chips it up, and it is out of bounds.
Should be a corner kick.
And it was touched by the St. Joe's goalkeeper. And it'll be another corner kick. This will be corner kick number 7 for East Brunswick. And Yaron Shlomi will take the CK for EB. 4 minutes to play. Shlomi the lefty. Curling service. It curls outward. A head flick on. St. Joe's tries to clear. Monbaj Gill in the hood. And the ball is collected by St. Joe's.
That's a new soccer terminology.
Well, you know, neighborhood, penalty box.
CK.
Hood for short. Better than in the house, I suppose.
Yeah, we don't want to appear too stuffy here.
Shlomi working on 2 men. Tries to flick it further down the wing, but it rolls out on him. 3.5 to play. East Brunswick will likely improve to 9-3-1 on the season and be in the driver's seat in the GMC Red Division. Sultana will take the throw for the Bears, who are really rolling. This will be their 6th straight win. If they preserve the shutout, it'll be 5 shutouts in those 6 wins. Here's Seiler with a little bit of space. Working on a new man in the game for St. Joe's. That's Kevin McAuliffe. And it's going to be a goal for Yaron Shlomi.
Boy, it's got to be exciting for the sophomore. New keeper in there. He's really had his test. He's had more opportunities right now than Fedorkowitz had. And he just completely misplayed that one. Came too far off the middle, and Shlomi, all he had to do was slide it underneath him. Great hustle to the ball.
I tell you, and that's also a good heads-up play by Shlomi, because if he puts that ball even 6 inches off the ground, the keeper gets it. He did well to make a worm burner out of that ball and slide it underneath. And East Brunswick is going to change keepers now. Ted Papadopoulos gets a breather, and Greg Solomon enters.
A worm burner in the hood. I should be writing these things down. That's good stuff.
St. Joe's plays it back. EB well in control here. 4 goals in the second half. Almost unheard of when these two meet up anyway. Hard to believe this game was 0-0 at halftime. The Bears have erupted for 4 here in the second half.
We'll have to have the stat people check through the records to find out last time there was a margin of victory by this much.
And an offsides call on the far.
This is a discouraging loss for St. Joe's, too. I mean, if it was a hard-fought, closely contested battle, you know, you could take some positives out of this, but except for a couple of spurts here and there, I don't know what Coach O'Boyle can really take out of this game except to go back to the drawing board and find out how he's going to, you know, try to get the psyche of this team back.
Yeah, we mentioned early on, as we see Scott Davis have a chance, but East Brunswick clears, that O'Boyle doesn't focus too much on what team he's playing, so he's not caught up in the whole rivalry of this thing, as we see Davis with a chance now. Not caught up so much in the rivalry as he is watching what his team does on a game-by-game basis in terms of preparing for the postseason.
Well, I'll tell you, their weak side marking has been atrocious today. And we very nearly had another one, if not for a long ball.
Massimo D'Angelo in the game now for Keith Sultana in the midfield. East Brunswick still with it. Shlomi working on LaRue. St. Joe's trying to clear it and just can't. Now Shlomi gets a fistful of jersey. Gets whistled for the foul, but he's about 98 yards away from his own goal, so Coach Haston won't get too upset by that. Good place to make a foul. St. Joe's plays it forward. Boy, even when the ball is out of bounds, East Brunswick is getting to it first. Seiler that time. Stepping in front of Brian Burkert, sophomore, who's in now for St. Joe's, as O'Boyle has emptied the bench. In the waning moments of this game, just an extra time. That's all that's remaining. East Brunswick will come up with arguably its biggest win of the season here.
I'll tell you, the Piscataway team's going to look at this score in the paper tomorrow and wonder what the heck has happened. And they had to struggle to beat St. Joe's in overtime last match.
And Piscataway has a win in overtime over St. Joe's and also a loss against St. Joe's. Those teams have had some great battles this season. Here's Pitts on the far sideline, but he won't catch up to it. Time winding down. East Brunswick will improve to 9-3-1. St. Joe's will fall to 8-3-1.
Not only are these conference wins important for their conference play, but when it comes to the state tournament seedings, you definitely would enjoy getting a bye in the first round and letting 2 other teams beat up on each other prior to you playing them.
Here's D'Angelo playing it forward. Seiler won't catch up to it. And we're just about out of time.
The way things are going with the girls and the boys soccer teams right now, could be back in the heydays of seeing both teams advance substantially in the state play. And wouldn't that be nice?
The clock continues to tick. We're in some goal and injury time, and Ross Channon left the game with what appeared to be a wrist injury. He was down for a couple minutes. He also had 4 goals scored, so some extra time being added on.
That was a great strip. You know, it's not just out of the seniors. Yeah, all these kids. Eric Feichbaum, I mean, a tremendous play taking the ball away there. Danny Miller in the back the whole game, shutting it down. Brian Patterson, the junior. I mean, up and down the roster. Hey, Coach Hastings got to be thrilled.
And there's the final whistle. East Brunswick, in impressive fashion with 4 goals in the second half, wins this one going away by the score of 4-0. And as you mentioned, this could be a real momentum builder heading into a tough Piscataway game.
Absolutely. I mean, Piscataway, the St. Joe's is an emotional game. The Piscataway is one where they've really got to focus now because they were just beaten up and down the field, lost 2-0. The last time the Bears gave up 2 goals this year and had their last loss.
So East Brunswick now has won 6 games in a row, 5 of which have been shutouts. Take a look at some of the unofficial stats. They really tell the story. East Brunswick with 15 shots overall compared to just 6 for St. Joe's. 9 of those shots were on goal. Only 2 on goal for St. Joe's. Saves, Ted Papadopoulos made 2. Greg Solomon didn't have to make any. And Mike Fedorchik got the bulk of the work for St. Joe's in that. He made 5 saves. The goal by Hockenjoss with 8 minutes gone by in the second half proves to be the difference. Ari Schneider then added 2, 1 in regular play, 1 on a penalty kick to make it 3-0. And Iran Shlomi closed out the scoring for the final 4-0. For the crew here at Channel 8, thanks to my partner Phil Peterson, I'm Gordy Deal. Thanks for watching. East Brunswick beats St. Joe's 2-0. We'll see you next time. I'm sorry, 4-0. East Brunswick beats St. Joe's. We'll see you next time here on Channel 8.